that this rebate is a good check, and mostly thanks to the city's administration increasing sales tax of 8.25%. So as of January, though, the finance director has estimated that between $1 million and $2 million of the 2021 homeowners and property taxes has been refunded thanks to the rebate. It's with an additional $600,000 still available. To apply for this rebate, residents must have owned their property tax for the 2021 entire year, and also pay the entire tax bill in 2022. They must then fill out a property tax refund application and mail it along with one proof of a property tax bill. The mayor has warned that this will likely be the one time the deadline is pushed back. And also, Alabama lawmakers are eyeing possible tax rebates as the reason they see a state budget surplus of more than $1 billion. The legislators will face a decision on what to do next, including how much to save, how much to spend, and how much to do with the money. But according to the Legislative Services Agency, the state budget has funds that education as a $3 billion surplus. The state general surplus has a smaller surplus of around $400 million. And now the senator who chairs the Senate Education Budget Committee said that lawmakers are working with the governor on a proposal that he expects the plan to include rebate checks, along with tax cuts and just putting money aside into reserves. Now, this money put aside into reserves should help people out with more stimulus. If it doesn't help them out with stimulus, well, it's bad news. But the good news is this. It's that the Republican lawmaker said he expects a proposal for tax cuts. He said it's important that the state put a lot of money into reserves. The AP reported that at least 15 states have approved a one-time check. There's been disagreement among lawmakers on how to use the rare budget surplus. Several Democrats would like the expansion of other areas, and even the Senate Democrat told reporters that if we could do a tax rebate, we could expand Medicaid and help people out. Help people out by giving them stimulus and give people stimulus money they need. We got attendees but the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SI, and SSDI. There's a ton of stimulus information that you guys have to know. We got a lot of news on this, a ton of stimulus to talk about. It's here, it's now, it's time. Because the remarks from Kevin McCarthy are here. He said he's not going to touch Medicare or even Social Security. Now, since he's not going to touch the Social Security and Medicare, well, it means that people will be getting stimulus. Yes, that's true, and that's a fact. Also, I want to say one more thing, folks.
If these investments turn out to be profitable as a direct result of these federal grants, the taxpayers of this country have a right to get a return on that investment. That is not complicated, nor is it a radical idea. These exact conditions were imposed on corporations that receive taxpayer assistance in the bipartisan CARES Act, which passed the Senate 96-0. In other words, every member of the U.S. Senate has already voted for the conditions that are in my amendment. Further, the CARES Act was not the first time that Congress passed warrants and equity stakes tied to government assistance. During the 2008 financial crisis, Congress required all companies taking TARP funds to issue warrants and equity stakes to the federal government. In addition, this amendment would also require these highly profitable companies not to buy back their own stocks, not to outsource American jobs, not to repeal existing collective bargaining agreements, and to remain neutral in any union organizing effort. Again, this is not a radical idea. All of these conditions were imposed on companies that receive funding from the CARES Act and passed.
And with inflation on the rise since last fall, Americans have been significantly affected by the rising cost of goods and services. And more than 8 in 10 Americans now say the economy is either an extremely or very important issue in determining how they will vote. Folks, there's a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits that I want you to know, so be sure to continue watching this video because you definitely don't want to miss out. To this is that Social Security changes would make Biden pretty much not a good decision maker on this because Republican senators want to allow Congress to reauthorize Social Security instead of trying to fix it on their own.
Thank you. I haven't asked my question yet. I'm going to ask mine, then I'll go right to Senator Hickenlooper. My question is going to be to all of you very, very quickly, if you can give us answers. Inflation. What's inflation in your territories? What is the inflation? what is the most contributing factor to inflation? What are you fighting the most right now? Is it food? Is it energy prices? What is it, but where's your inflation rate? What's your greatest?
The long answer is the Social Security Act doesn't allow the agency to use money for administrative work not connected to its main mission. So they couldn't get the IRS the information it needed to send out checks. But thanks to some legal wrangling, that's been worked out. One group left out of this good news, VA beneficiaries. The IRS says it's continuing to review data it has on people who get veterans benefits but don't file a tax return. The IRS does.
Folks, there is an updated list of states that are about to send out a fourth check this month, and the lawmakers in many places like Illinois, Pennsylvania, and even New Jersey have released programs that are providing millions of dollars to thousands of low-income residents. So the several arrival dates for these payments have been confirmed and just announced. I'll be revealing these details in this video. Stimulus payments are back. Although the crisis has become more bearable, Americans are still dealing with a tough financial crisis to deal with. CNBC reports about 63% of workers across the country live paycheck to paycheck. It has led to many state governors to agree to send out bonus checks to the residents. It includes people in places like New Jersey and Pennsylvania and Rhode Island. For instance, New Jersey is offering another program to give communities stimulus money and to help the people out. Now, if this applies to you, you must file an application with the state's Division of Taxation by December 30th. Payments will go out in the spring, and families can expect to receive a child rebate in the state of Rhode Island. The program provides a rebate of $250 per child for up to 3 children, or $750 per family. To be eligible, you must be a resident for all of 2021, and children must be 18 years or older to qualify for this check. Now, if you're $100,000 as an individual, you'll get the payment as well. Now, people say in the state that the checks were mailed out early in October last month, and for those that filed a 2021 tax return, you should have gotten yours by the middle of this month. So, in addition to this low-income stimulus money, Pennsylvania low-income homeowners and renters are getting some bigger financial relief. Most checks will be capped at $650, though some homeowners will see a boost of $970 based on age, widow, or even widower status and disabilities. There's also news for the Delaware residents. State officials have said you must be able to send in an application through the end of this year in order to get the $900. You can also get a $300 one-time check. To receive the money, you must be a resident of Delaware by the end of this year. In addition, you have to apply for it. The deadline to apply for it, though, is towards the end of this month, so make sure you get your money fast. Nancy Pelosi also said that she will address her future plans this week. A spokesperson for Pelosi said that Nancy Pelosi has been overwhelmed by calls from colleagues and supporters. The speaker plans to address her future plans tomorrow. So, I hear that Nancy Pelosi is retiring, but it still means one thing: stimulus is still necessary. Speculations over Nancy Pelosi's future has intensified in the aftermath of the midterms. Now, some people in Washington say that she can send out more stimulus money before the end of her career, so hopefully she will do this. Now, CNN did project that Republicans are going to take control this January through a smaller margin than they hoped for. Pelosi said in a separate statement